All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to go through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. This is a weekend edition. It is Sunday, so I want to go through the Friday big board. Also, I've updated all my weekly charts that we do to take a look at the Bitcoin miners, and then we'll take a look at Bitcoin itself. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you can remember to smash the like button, it's helping out the channel a lot, and I really appreciate it. Lastly, if you want to become a member, you can join the channel by hitting the join button on the YouTube page. If you don't see a button, you should see a link below. Members have some members-only content. In addition to that, we have a members-only live stream once a week, and members also get to choose a video for me to do each week to do a deep dive on. So we'd love to have you join us. So if you take a look, you're going to see there's green and red. So Friday was a fairly neutral day, and some of the Bitcoin miners had a great day. Some of them had a bad day. It seemed to be a real mixed bag. I want to talk about a couple in particular. You're going to see Riot was up 8.3%, and Marathon was up 11.2%. Those two had great days. Those are the two largest Bitcoin miners by market cap, not by production, but by market cap. And they seem to be where if there is any flight to safety inside of this industry, it seems to be to Marathon and Riot. And then to a little bit of a lesser extent, in what's now a little bit of a distant third place, is Hut 8. Hut 8 was also up 4%, and it had a nice day. So, however, there were some others that did not have a good day. Gree was down 6.5%. Mawson was down 7%. And you'll see a lot of red on the board. Some of these things were fairly neutral. Like Bitfarms was down 0.3% and Hive was up 0.4%. So very close to zero on a lot of these. Two others worth mentioning. TerraWolf, stock ticker Wolf, was up 14.5% and Cypher was up 14.5%. So those were gigantic moves to the upside. I'm not sure what those were about. It wasn't unusual volume. There was no news on those two. And in my opinion, those are two companies that I believe are headed in opposite directions. I will do deeper dive on both of those. So you can see it was just really a mixed bag here on Friday, and it's been that kind of a run. I want to take a look at our weekly charts and kind of put all of this into perspective. Okay, so this first chart is literally week over week. So you'll see there were three Bitcoin miners that I have in the green. Riot, Marathon, and Cypher had good weeks. They were up 12, 11, and 11% respectively. And Bitcoin, you can see in gold, Bitcoin was up 3%. So Bitcoin did have a decent week. It was up a little bit, but it was a fairly neutral week overall. But you're going to see most of the Bitcoin miners actually lagged in performance, because remember, these should be leveraged plays on Bitcoin. So even Hive and Hut, which were up 4%, which was a little bit better than Bitcoin. You know, it's nice to be up, but to me, those are not behaving properly. When Bitcoin's up 3%, they should be up more than 4%. And then all the rest of the Bitcoin miners lagged Bitcoin's performance this week, and most of them were in the red. Some of them were pretty deep in the red. Mawson was down 22% this week. Stronghold was down 16% this week. So you can see we had a range of performance here, but also the one thing to note is there's nothing drastic on this chart. We have seen, 1 week at a time, almost every week it seems like one company gets totally dismantled and launches some news letting people know like that their business is in deep jeopardy. So we don't have any of those this week. We've already been through a lot of those. I don't know how many of those are left. This next chart, for me, this is the chart that I am following most closely. I think there's the most information to be gained from this chart right here. And what this chart is it's basically measuring performance of each one of these Bitcoin miners over approximately the last 5.5 months now. So you're going to see almost every single Bitcoin miner has now taken out that previous 52-week low. And some of them have been taken out drastically to the point where their stock is now trading for pennies on the dollar. Core Scientific is down 90% from its previous all-time low. These companies have gone through massive adjustments to the downside. We're going to take a look at the big picture. Really, every single one of these companies has been hit very hard, but there is a big difference. You'll see two standing out, and these are the two that I said if there's any space, if anything represents a potential flight to safety inside of this industry, it would be Marathon and Riot, and then to a lesser extent, Hut. They have been number 1 and 2 and 3 on this list the entire 5.5 months. Hut is no longer in the green. It's now negative 2%, but it is still outperforming Bitcoin, which is negative 3%. All the rest of the Bitcoin miners are underperforming Bitcoin dramatically over the last 5.5 months. So again, this is not financial advice, but it is information. So hopefully this will help you guys do your due diligence and add some value to analyzing these stocks. Okay, this is another chart that really puts things in perspective. This is the market cap of each company as of Friday, December 2nd. So you're going to see 2 are in green. So the top 2, Marathon and Riot, make up more than 50% of the market cap of all 18 of these companies. The top 9, which is half of these companies, the top 9 make up 90% of the market cap. So there's starting to be the haves and the have-nots for sure. But in 4th place, we have Cypher at $235 million market cap. Cypher has yet to put out a monthly operational report, so all the other ones near the top of this list have been reporting their monthly output on a monthly basis, really for the entire year of 2022. Cypher is just only now getting going. So they reported their 3rd quarter results. So in July, August, and September, they averaged about 65 Bitcoin mined per month. So they would have not been anywhere near the top 10 list, even had they put out monthly operational updates. However, they did just bring a big plant online that should significantly increase their production. So I'm expecting to see a November operational update from Cypher. If I don't, I will be disappointed. Based on the press releases that they've put out, they have a chance of sneaking into the top 10 from an operational standpoint before the end of the year. And I did not think there was going to be a company that was going to get there that fast. So we'll see if they put the information out and let us know. Cypher may be moving into the top 10 in some of these categories. Now, in market cap, it's already number 4, but in production, it's been nowhere near the top 10 all year. This is how much each one of these companies is down from their all-time high. The top company on this entire list is Marathon. It's down 92% from its highs from November of last year. Hive and Hut are also essentially tied for first, down 92%. Those were all their November 2021 highs. And then it just gets worse from there. Riot's down 94%. Bitfarms is down 94%. I'm going to jump to the bottom of the list because Core Scientific's down 99%. Essentially, that means the market believes they're going out of business. Down 99% is an exceptionally rare occasion in the stock market. Usually, it's a quick step. It's a quick step on the way to being out of business. These Bitcoin miners are a little bit different. We're having a very unusual market right now over the last year or year and a half. Particularly the small cap high growth stocks have gotten beaten down in a way like they have never been before, really, in my opinion, in the history of the stock market. So you're going to see, if you think there's a Bitcoin miner on here that's going to survive, really that's what it's come down to. Are these companies going to survive or are they going to go out of business? If you think that one of these companies is going to survive, then they're certainly at least worth being on your watch list. For instance, a Riot down 94%. If you think they can survive, they do not have to get to their all-time high to be a win. They could double and still be down over 90%. So that's how I'm looking at this list. Essentially, right now, I'm looking for the companies most likely to survive. But again, we don't know. There's no assurance that any of these companies will survive. We don't know what Bitcoin is going to do. They are all tied directly to Bitcoin. So if for some reason Bitcoin really does have an extended crypto winter or ends up failing, then obviously all of these companies will go out of business. So I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't think most of you believe that. However, we don't know. The future is uncertain. So, for that reason, this is not financial advice. You've got to do your own risk-reward analysis and decide what you're willing to invest in. I'm going to go through the charts very quickly because there's absolutely nothing going on here. You can see, as always, there's an orange line. This is where the market closed on Friday. So we were at $17,030 at the market close on Friday when the equity markets closed. We're within $20 or $30 of where we were Friday afternoon, and it's been that way most of the weekend. You can see these are very, very, very small moves. I'm going to wait for things to break one way or the other before we start digging into the technicals. Just quickly, this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. Again, you can see just how tightly we've been close to this line where we closed on Friday. So almost no variation here at all. I just want to close out on the 1-day time frame because I do think this tells a little bit of a story. So this gigantic downward cycle here, these 4 days, and it's really these 2 days, this was when the FTX news broke. So we crashed down through this red line right here, which is at around 17,500. That's where the flash crash was from this summer. That was Bitcoin's 2-year low right there. And that had held very strong for 5 months. So in a 2-day period, we went from over 20,000 to taking out this line by a lot. So we bottomed out somewhere around this purple line at around 15,600. So about a week and a half later, there was another scare with Genesis. Genesis is owned by the same company that Grayscale is owned by, so there was an awful lot of uncertainty around a couple of very big players in the industry. So we had another big 2-day dip, but we did retest this, and this line of support seemed to hold very nicely. So I think we have double bottomed here. And so to me, we've rallied up about 10% from there, and I'm hoping there's more to come. But again, the technicals are looking very neutral. So we're going to have to see what the rest of the news dictates and see where we go from here. But definitely, we have, this chart looks like a nice double bottom to me, and I'm optimistic we're going to have a holiday rally. So we'll see what happens. So that's all I got for Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners for this weekend. I hope everybody enjoys your weekend. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video.